Hey guys, good morning. It is Monday the 26th, I believe it is. 26th? 27th? Maybe the 27th. I'm not even sure. I'll look at that before I label the video on YouTube. Anyway, um, just wanted to get today's video to you and share a couple of things with you. One is a really neat thing that happened regarding the journey, and what I'm quickly finding out, and I guess I thought may happen, but not quite like this, was how the how this journey has impacted me and my family's life in little ways for really forever. It's changed our lives a little bit, and maybe drastically at some point in time. In this case, it's not drastic, but it is little things that I think are really special. So, and then sometimes the kids say things that just really make you kind of, I just have a different, what they focus on may not be what I focus on. I guess it's everybody, not just kids. But my son said something when I shared the story with you I thought was pretty cool. And then I got another topic I wanted to cover for a couple of days now, and I'll address it, being I just saw another kind of headline this morning. So, as I said, it's Monday. Got a slow day at work. I'll be heading back into the office shortly. But on the journey, if you go back to my videos of October 12th, you heard me talk about in video October 12th midday. I did a live stream, not a YouTube video. It was a live stream on Facebook. You'd have to be on Facebook to see it. But I went to a cemetery in Prescott, Arizona, which had a memorial and I guess grave markers for 19 hotshots, 19 firefighters that lost their lives in a fire. And it was a really emotional day for me, and I'm very grateful. Along the journey, people would suggest things to me, because the truth of the matter is I never had heard of that memorial. Now, I knew the fire, I knew people had lost their lives, but I didn't have a lot of specifics. But when I was in Phoenix, David suggested Susan was kind of taking it to the Grand Canyon, and on the way, you should really check that out. And I didn't really anticipate what I was going to be experiencing in the moment. But they made a movie out of it called Only the Brave, and I knew it was something I wanted to share with my kids at some point in time. And I just did a video a couple of days ago how I just saw the movie in Walmart, picked it up. So last night was a long day at work. I got home and it was family night, movie night. The kids were off from school today, so it was movie night. So we hunkered down and we watched the movie Only the Brave, which was a really, really good movie. A really good movie. And I encourage you all to watch it. Just don't take my word for it. But then I go into work early in the morning. I got in about 4 a.m. and normally I stay through. I've got some things to take care of home today, so I got some coverage in the warehouse until I go back later. So on my way home, I knew I had done this live stream, and I wanted to share it with my kids. So my daughter was still sleeping. I got back around 8 o'clock, and my son, hey daddy, so hey, I want to show you something. And so he watched my live stream, and he was able to see the grave markers of the people that he saw portrayed in the movie. But the story goes that there was one of the members of the crew that survived. Now, I don't know how much of it was liberty that Hollywood took with it. I don't know how much of it was fact as it relates to him. In the movie, it's this young man that kind of changed his life around a little bit, and he was sent to be a lookout on this ridge for the team. And as the fire overwhelmed them, there was a second team nearby, and I guess their superintendent was on a off-road vehicle that they used, and he came up and got him and rescued him from essentially perishing in the fire and brought him back to a safe zone. So the nickname for him in this movie, because it's kind of a play on his last name, was Donut. And one of the neat things about the movie, and I really like this about all movies, isn't the Hollywood part of it, is as they're rolling the credits, when you see, it hits home, you see the faces of the real people and the little bios on them. And there was a quote at the end of the movie from Donut that I don't have word for word, I just saw it last night. But it was essentially something like, I've gotten past the guilt of being the only survivor, or survival's guilt, and for feeling guilty about not being there with my brothers, and now I've taken on the role of celebrating their lives and being blessed to have been part of this special family and to know these special men. And I thought it was a pretty neat thing that he said. So I watched my live stream on Facebook with my son this morning, and things I would never think about. He says to me, "Hey Dad, wouldn't it be cool if they had a headstone there for Donut, so even though he's alive now, when he ever passes away, that he could be there with his friends and family again?" And I thought it was kind of a neat comment even by him, and I don't know what's ever crossed their minds, and obviously he has his own immediate family, but there's such a loyalty and brotherhood among service people, firemen, policemen, military folks, that who knows, maybe that'd be something he'd even consider. But it just shows my son paid attention to the movie last night, was really into it, and as I said, I don't know, maybe one day, 30 years from now, he's traveling, 40 years from now, he's traveling out west with his family, and says, "Hey, you know what, we should stop by and see that." And this is how that journey, and how the Point of Thumb journey has impacted our lives, so dramatically, and not dramatically, that's an exaggeration, but so, what's the word I'm looking for, on an almost daily basis, so frequently. There's not a day goes by that I'm not sharing something with the kids, whether it's a story or a memory or something like that. And in fact, just this morning at the warehouse, I have 4 warehouse guys to work with, and they were asking me something. It's just how a story came up, and I was sharing with them how I met Tomas out in California, and that was a little bit of a freaky thing, but again, and here it is, not even 9 o'clock in the morning, and I've already retold 2 experiences to people from the journey stories, and this is it's been an amazing thing. So I wanted to share that with you. And then there was a topic that came up I saw the other day, and I feel sort of involved in it in a little bit of a way, so that's why I wanted to talk about it. And then it changed again last night when I saw a headline. So I am, those of you that know me, I'm the least tech-savvy person in the world. And actually, it's the third thing I could probably talk about today, but I'm the least tech-savvy person in the world. I was never involved in Facebook before this journey, and I tended to call people as opposed to texting them and say happy birthday or ask them how they're doing. That's just the way I was. Well, I got more tech involved in this journey, and one of the things that happened for me was when I left, because I'm left scratching my head a little bit this morning as the story evolves, which I'm not doing a very good job of telling you right now. But when I left the journey, those of you that don't know my story know that I left with $6 in my pocket. I had given what little bit of money I had to my kids' mom, so her and the kids would have whatever I had. And I knew there was a chance that, without having an income coming in, that it would get ugly out there. And a friend of mine said, "Look, I don't want you to lose your home. Your kids, I don't really care about you." He said, "I don't want your kids to lose their home. So I'm going to start a GoFundMe page." And I didn't know a lot about GoFundMe. I've heard of them. Kind of felt like it was asking for a handout, and I kind of felt guilty about that. So I tried to parlay it into a couple of charities. And the more I thought about it, what a wonderful way we could all be part of something huge. If I throw $5 towards something, it's like throwing a pebble into a pond, but if 100 of us throw $5 into something, it's like throwing a giant rock in a pond. And if 1,000 of us throw $5 into something, it's just a bigger splash. And I thought, hey, if we got momentum and people were following and taking part in this, we could really altogether make some change. So I said, do the GoFundMe page if you insist, but it's not about me. Let's make it bigger and better, and hope let's see what happens. Well, about a week or so ago, I read in the news, on the social media, that some gentleman, I want to say California, but I'm not sure, put up a GoFundMe page to get his kid Christmas presents, and a bunch of people contributed, but a bunch of people hated and trolled, and what a terrible message you're sending kids about Christmas, that it's about gifts, and more vicious things than that. And that particular day, to me, the GoFundMe pages, there are people. My philosophy with people and donations is, look, it's their money, they've earned it, they're free to give it to whoever they want. You don't have to agree with it. Who cares? It's their money to do whatever they want to do. So people were judging this guy for putting it out there. I don't necessarily judge him, because I don't know how akin I was to that by saying, hey, help me out while I'm walking across and let's donate to these charities. So my point is, if it offends you in some way, why have to comment about it? Just move on. To me, it's like, I remember way back in the day when Howard Stern was huge on terrestrial radio. People love to hate him. Like, if it's not your cup of tea, turn the station. If you don't like Rush Limbaugh or Michael Smerconish or whatever political things, you don't have to troll him and hate him. Just turn the radio. If you're Christian and you hear some vulgar music on a rock station or a hip hop station, you don't have to go protesting the FCC. Change the station. Anyway, that's kind of my feeling about GoFundMe pages. I didn't, look, if you want to prove the point to the guy that you don't like it, don't give him any money. If he comes up with $0, then, you'll speak volumes that way. So it puzzled me about a week ago, but then I read this morning. Actually, it was this morning. The story was last night. So some woman went to Mexico to get discounted plastic surgery, and they mucked it up, and I think they might have give her too much anesthesia. She went into a coma, and she passed away. Now, I'm not saying that that's worthy. I'm not saying that's deserved. I'm not saying anything. I'm not judging, right? She chose to go to Mexico, which I don't mean anything by Mexico, but probably an unlicensed doctor. She chose to go have plastic surgery. She seemed to be pretty fine. This was not a life-changing health issue, and as a result, she lost her life. Tragic, absolutely tragic. But then I read this morning that her sister put some terrific post on Facebook or somewhere and set up a GoFundMe page, and she got $110,000 donated to her GoFundMe page. And that's where I got to shake my head a little bit. If I shoot heroin and drink and I OD, you know what? I kind of knew the risk. Shame on me. Right? If I go skydiving and the parachute doesn't open, I kind of knew the risks. Shame on me. At least this is certainly my opinion. Anyway, so this woman has gotten 100. I'm trying to raise money for disabled American veterans and children with cancer and leukemia and childhood diseases, and I got about maybe, I don't even know the number, maybe $2,000 donated. This woman goes to get her nose corrected in a place that she knows, makes the conscious decision to go to a place that it's not, maybe let's say approved or certified the way it should be. She suffers for it, she dies for it, and people donate $110,000 to her. And again, people are free to donate do what they want to do with their money. I'm consistent with that. But man, does that leave me shaking my head. I want to do some good with things, and I didn't get a whole lot. But this person, who when they get her nose fixed, gets $110,000 because she went to a place that botched it up. I don't know. So I hope I didn't seem callous with that. Actually, I don't really care if it did. It's absurd to me. So love you guys. We're running out of time. Have yourselves a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.